Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Do you feel like you're carrying around a heavy load from your past? Maybe of guilt, shame, remorse, grief, you name it. You've accumulated it. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can move on from your painful past. My last video, I kind of went over some things about my past that were painful. And today I want to talk about how you can let go of a painful past and move forward with hope that you can have a more joyful life. If you're new here, my name's Holly, and I completely changed my life at 60 using the law of attraction, and I'm now 65 and living my best life. So I just want to help you to do that too. And if you want a free guidebook, click on the link below, and you can learn a little bit more about how I did that using the law of attraction and join my email list. So today I want to talk about how as we get older, we can just feel like we are carrying around this backpack full of remorse and regret and you name it, guilt, shame, grief, and as those feelings just build up and accumulate and we don't let go of them, it can just become to a point where it just feels like it's destroying our lives and destroying any chance of joy and happiness in our lives. Well, I'm here to tell you that the law of attraction showed me how to move on past that and to live in the now. Because if you're saying things to yourself like, oh, why did that have to happen to me? Um, oh, I wish I had done this way, and oh, why did I do things that way? And um, you're saying things like that to yourself, then I want you to know that you can move forward past that using the law of attraction. And I think when I first started studying the law of attraction, I think one of the things that I found the most interesting was Abraham Hicks' take on forgiveness. And basically, that you don't have to forgive yourself. And this is interesting because I think a lot of us think, oh, I've got to forgive myself. I've got to work through you know, all this pain from the past and find a way to forgive myself. And I'm here to tell you, you don't. Abraham Hicks is right. You don't have to work on forgiving yourself and working through the past pain. If you're a Christian and you believe that you need God's forgiveness, then let me tell you that God forgave you a long time ago for whatever you've done that you think you need forgiveness for. He has forgiven you. And you don't have to worry about forgiving yourself. And the reason that is because what you want to forgive yourself for no longer exists. The past no longer exists. It only exists here. If you are truly living in the now, then you don't have to ask for forgiveness from yourself or anyone else. Because what is in the past is in the past. It is no longer here. It no longer exists. Like I said, it only exists up here. If you want to truly move on from a painful past, like if you feel like you just are having a hard time even facing it, like even acknowledging what is really behind this feeling of not being able to forgive yourself, then sit down, have a conversation with yourself, not anyone else, and ask yourself, what have I done that I find is so unforgivable? If you've got to write this down, write it down. Face your past. Don't run away from it. Don't be afraid of it. Just face it. Say, this is what I did. Is it really unforgivable? What if somebody else did that? Would I find it unforgivable if they did that? Just write down the things from your past that are constantly coming back into your head and playing this record of, I'm a horrible person, I don't deserve anything. I'm unworthy of success and love and abundance because I did this, this, and this. Just sit down with yourself and face it and say, okay, I did that. I'm not going to be afraid of that anymore. I'm going to face that and I'm going to move on. Because as of today, I'm going to start thinking about my future and what I want to create in my life. And I'm going to stop thinking about a past that no longer exists. Eckhart Tolle talks about, and I did a whole video on this, about the pain body and how as we get older, and I just think this is so real. When I read this from him, I just thought, this is so real. Like he talks about the pain body and how the pain body consists of these feelings of sadness and depression and guilt and shame. And that pain body almost like becomes this separate being that wants to take over your body. And I think like people like me that have a really painful past, that's just so true. Like I can just feel that pain body wanting to make me feel like shame or guilt or grief, deep grief about losses that I've been through. And Eckhart Tolle talks about how the way to release the pain body and to keep it from taking over, then you need to focus on the now, the power of now. He does a whole book on the power of now. And it's just so important to realize, like I said, that you're keeping these things alive, not because it still exists, not because that's still going on now, but because you're keeping it alive in your head. So acknowledge it. This is what I'm afraid of. This is what I feel guilty about. This is why I'm still grieving over this. Just accept it, stop being afraid of it, and say, okay, I'm going to move on from this point. Once you've done this, start to look at yourself in a different way. And I think that this channel has helped me to look at myself in a different way. Look at yourself like, man, I'm this tough person that went through this, and this, and I'm still here and I'm working on, creating this new life for myself. And look at yourself like, I am a strong hero of my life. And I've been through a lot, but I'm strong and I am no longer going to identify myself as a victim or as a depressed person or any of those things that I was identifying myself as before. Today, I'm going to start looking at myself like I'm a hero. And I overcame all these things and I can move forward from here to have a joyful and purposeful life. And I can start thinking about, what I want to do now that I can let go of that. Now that I realize I don't have to feel guilt and remorse and feel like I've got to forgive myself. That's gone. That's done. I'm moving on. Start to say to yourself, I am healing and I am becoming, instead of, why did this happen to me? Oh, why did I do things like that? No, I am healing and I am becoming. Start to visualize yourself as this new person that you want to become. Visualize yourself as a peaceful person, as a non-reactive person, as a person that is centered in the now and not focused on the past or on the future, but centered in the now. Visualize yourself as the person that you want to become and stop ruminating about past events that are no longer a part of your life. And this will help you to realize that you are not your past. You are not your past. You are what you are right now and what you want to move forward to be. I think one of the hardest things for me was that I pretty much spent my life kind of thinking of myself as a victim and almost like liking that feeling of, my mother was different than other mothers, and I wasn't loved like other people were that had loving mothers. And I think I almost started to like that feeling of being a victim. And that's what we do, is we start to identify with that feeling. And then when we let go of it or try to let go of it, we don't feel like we're home anymore. Like who am I now that I'm not a victim? And I think that's one of the hardest things to get through, and definitely was one of the hardest things for me. And I still will find myself kind of wanting to go back to identifying as the victim and poor me. But I now know that going down that path isn't going to get me anywhere. So I quickly refocus on something else. And usually what works for me is refocusing on something else that I'm grateful for. Let yourself know that it's okay to be free. It's okay for you to be free and move on with your new life and your new identity. Look at yourself as a new person. Like, like I said, visualize yourself. This is the person that I want to be. And this is the person that I'm working from this day forward to become that person. I'm no longer going to be stuck in victim mode. I'm no longer going to be stuck in identifying myself as depressed. I am working on myself, and I can let go of the past and live in the now and be happy and grateful for what I have right now in my life. No matter what is in that heavy backpack that you've got full of, rocks of regret or shame or guilt. And I honestly think regret is it's one of the tough ones. It's like you just want to go back and do things over, but you can't, because the past is gone. It's done. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. And if you'd like to learn more about the law of attraction, like I said, I've got a free guidebook, totally free. And you can join my email list by clicking on the link in the description below. And I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.